Good day, everyone. Spawn's finally here. Well, for me anyway. So, we are going to look and see how we think of his tournament variations and just the character in general as a whole. It's been a busy morning. I helped cook food. And I was also very tired yesterday. Spawn came in around the evening, but by then it was just too late. So I thought, it can wait. It'll be worth the wait. Cabal is going to enjoy this a lot. Aren't you? Basic attacks. Hellish Hook, a high that does 20. Not bad. Has just about the same reach as the Joker's one. Shroud Strike. Whoa. Look at the reach on that. Low claw. If you notice, all the hellish hooks send him a bit further back each time. And then the low claw, once the hook is out of reach, which will be any second now. Okay, let's say now. Okay, that's too far. This brings him back in. That's very subtle. Straight pain. That's a bit better. Oh, that was a combo. Spinning K7. These are mids as well. That range, and it's mid. Rising Cape. It is not looking bad so far. I think it's quite jammy that his mids reach fairly far. That is something else, but to be fair, it's a high. With a fair bit of stagger. Does not cancel. His faster one's the mid. You don't want to be using this. Unless you want the low overhead mix up. That's a favourite. In my book anyway. Saw this earlier. The sweep that hits twice when in the right range. You gotta block both hits, or if you're out of range of the first one, then you only have the first one to worry about. But it's much like Collector with his forward 4. Hits twice. Crouch block the first one, and then you stand block or you let go afterwards, assuming that you've actually blocked everything you need to block. No, it's the same thing here. If you're too close, you're gonna get hit by both. Gotta watch yourself. Reaches fairly far in exchange for minus 20 off of the original damage. But that's fair. Look how far it goes. And he doesn't actually move. There's no hurt box on that. That's crazy. Devil's Boot. Low with authority. Look at that. Necro Burst. Oh, that reaches quite far. No pushback either because... Crazy. His hop attacks, the cape, and the chains. How far did the chains reach is the question. This is getting scarier with every step back. What is this reach? Come on, look at that. Ridiculous. That's even worse. You could be... He's just about out of range of poke distance. We could check that right now. Cabal. Oh no, we want you back in the corner, son. Okay, maybe the hook sword from there will reach. So Cabal actually has a decent answer to that. Let's say there. Oh, for goodness sake. It was not supposed to reset. So where it actually just about hits from, I want him to stand there. That makes contact, so let's go back to Cabal. Okay. Cabal has nothing from that range. Cabal, in this case, is a bad example of someone who you think can just poke him out of the air for that overhead because of how far it reaches. Look at this cape, man. Ridiculous. His get up attacks. Alright, I want Cabal to uppercut me. So. That's not bad. Pretty good. They are not bad at all. There is a crushing blow in his forward throw if he is actually backed in the corner himself. So let's do the back throw to get spawned in the corner. What? Now how far does it account for? Let's do it from here. Okay, that didn't work. So let's just... You could probably get more damage off of that throw in the corner. What else is there here? His rolls, they would all be the same, so that does not matter too much. D, E, D. Dead. Sends them pretty far back. They roll into the overhead. That's a risk they run. They're just about in range for that if they choose to advance, and if they're not crouching. You gotta keep your distance as spawn for a lot of this to actually hit with such leverage that they can't actually do much about it from that range. Even with Cabal's hook swords, it's too much. Soul Chamber. Oh. Wonder what it looks like crushing blow wise. I've not experienced it. Let's turn easy on because we don't have two controls right now. You ready, Cabal? That's about the same damage as Kung Lao's Shaolin dive for a punish. Crushing blow. fair enough. Fighting the Flebiax. Oh, so this is his launcher. I'm already dead. So you can special cancel into I'm already... Well, from I'm already dead into whatever move you choose to put on the end of it. So you got this. That doesn't work. That'll do. No. What's that other move that I did? Enhance! From 1 meter, 30% from 3 moves. That's an example of what you could do with those two. A regular one. So the 70 extra pass. How much does it do on its own? Let's skip ahead a little bit. 98. Enhanced. 18. Oh. Heaven and Hell has a crushing blow in it. That's a dial up. I could probably do that off of it. That's a combo, we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves, but... Vaporizer's Visage. Dropped too soon. The King of Hell. Violator's Wrath. All very damaging. 14, that's a throw's worth. 16. Mids, however. Lot of mids. There's the odd low, that's a high, that's a mid. So there's hardly any mix-ups in his combos, but that's because of the sheer range that he has on a lot of his attacks anyway. So he's well compensated for that, in my opinion. Bloody hell. It's about power, for wonder, 12. You can special cancel with that. So this is one thing I can think of. Wait. Whatever special move. Oh, let's try again. Maybe I'm doing the wrong one in the air. The gap on that is rather tight from what I see. However, my execution is not the best. I have butterfingers 90% of the time when I play this. Unless... Oh, that was way too far. No, okay, maybe not that. Did I do that on the way down? Hold on. Ah, okay. So I must have pressed too many times and I ended up doing that as I landed. That doesn't reach, so don't do that. What other moves does he have? I guess we'll find out. We've got Gun Blazing, Blaze of Glory, the Unholy Veil, Shattering War Club, Fatal Phantasm, Fallen Angel. Which one can he use? after the Heaven and Hell crushing blow. Oh. Wait, I've just thought of something. That also doesn't work. That was Fallen Angel. Let's start from the top with the gun blazing. That's an anti-air, which just about hits them. You can enhance because there's enough stagger. Does not recover in time if he's hit in the face with the first bullet off of the thing. That is the uppercut crushing blow. I don't know why I did that. Blaze of Glory. Easy 32% just from using meter if you parry a low attack. Because easy crushing blows are on, so there's a crushing blow in this. You can cancel out of it. Nice. Unholy Veil. That's ridiculous. What does Unholy Veil do again? You can delay it. If it parries a projectile. Oh, okay, so he has two moves that act as parries. You've got one for lows, one for projectiles. So he's got an element of anti-zoning. Fatal Phantasm is like the best move. Does not have to do much. That does 90, and it's a mid. What if you hit it a bit further back? It just seems to be consistently mid. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. This variation on its own anyway. I'm going to change to a second one. Let me see how I feel about this. Or Cabal anyway. Both in this together. Except Cabal's the guinea pig. So we've gone through all of the basics and combo attacks. So I'm really just looking at how the special moves can be integrated into what we already know. So. Letha Glide. This can be done twice from what I saw in the combat cast. Hey, I did it! Now let's do it again. This is that gas variation that Cabal has, except it's allowed. Doesn't quite get the turnaround when he goes over. But hitboxes don't matter too much because I'm kicking the air and it somehow clips Cabal in the head. Despite jumping over him, this is something that needs to be fixed. Charging Hellspawn is a brutal tackle with all of the evil elements. Ugh, disgusting. I'm just doing all this stuff on the fly. I like the Letha Glide. Except... you can create some sort of mind game if someone's zoning you. Ta-da! That was a mid. Wait, so off of the glide it becomes mid. That was overhead. Why was it mid earlier? Maybe it's mid off of the second glide. That didn't even hit. Mid. Okay, it's mid off of the second glide. I guess that's fair enough, because imagine how OP it would have been if you're just crouch blocking away and you navigate across, and you still clip them. I guess I wouldn't have minded if it was an overhead, because you then reap the reward of getting past all that zoning to bop. Okay, that time it was an overhead. I'm just eating my words as we go along, aren't I? I don't know what's making it mid all of a sudden. What? Ooh, interesting. Can I cancel into my fatal blow off of that? I don't know if I can. It's a bit too slow. What about on its own? That's got some dirty reach on it too. Ridiculous. But charging Hellspawn is something that you could mess around with a bit more. I think this is the move that has that special attribute towards it where you break away from it, you are toast. I might be wrong actually. I think there was another one. There is one more variation to look at to gauge how afraid I would be of Spawn online. Both in my hands are terrible out. Or against someone else who masters Spawn. When that happened with Sindel, it was actually annoying as shit. Like, you would have the lows in her combos mixed in with the overhead hair toss, or combo enders that ended with a low, in exchange ended with the hair toss overhead. Sindel's overhead's just garbage. They annoy me. But Spawn, what does he actually have on this one? He has his Necroblast. He has the Hell Chain. Well, that came back because he's not using gun blasting. So he would have had this one also in his second variation. Shattering War Club, Raising Hell, Lethal Letha Stance. The 8th Circle of Hell. Only does 32. 32 is not small, but still. Flex. How plus is that? 28. But starts up on 24 though. So it takes a while. Down, bucko. Can you crouch block that? Let's get Cabal to crouch block. That's right. You just hold it all that time. It's a throw you can crouch block. Interesting. I was in the wrong one. Ha ha ha. Soul Shattering War Club. That's crazy. Look at how much range you get on that. And then you can just keep going back to zoning. So he's got something that he can do both high and low. Can't seem to cancel out of the Lethal Letha stance though. Raising Hell is ridiculous. Look how savage that is, and look how far it sends them. Oh no, that's the War Club, sorry. But Raising Hell on top of that, so if you don't like what is happening to you because of the character being proficient in close range, you just set this up and then just take the ground out from under their feet. Throw the occasional Necroblast. They've made Spawn somewhat of a zoner. But it's not in the same traditional sense. Like, the only traditional thing that he has are the guns and the high fireball. And then maybe that to mix things up a little bit more. But it's not like a low fireball like Sindel or Liu Kang. It's actually pretty cool. I like it. And I like how much time you have to react to it as well. He has to dig into the ground and really yank it out from beneath you. So, I think that can be combated. It just depends on your reaction time and how informed you are when you face Spawn online. Because I have days where I'm really sloppy. And I just wonder why I lose. Now I lose, and then that's it. But other days where you just know when things are coming, like Sindel's annoying overheads, for example. On a good day, they won't bother me because I'll actually have the focus to be able to deal with them. And somehow at the same time maintain the right amount of patience for it too. But this, got plenty of time, mate. Plenty of time. It replaces the Phantasm that he has, Fatal Phantasm. But the stance, let's just read up about the stance. Oh, it's up to cancel. Okay. So you could go... Bad example, but let's say you're in the corner. Let's just assume I was in the corner for that. He's got some sort of mind game. Some sort of mind game. Up hell chains release, low hell chains. Oh, and it changes sides. Oh, ridiculous, ridiculous, crazy. Anyway. Triggers if the lethal stance is maintained for a long duration. Okay. How do you enhance this one? Long duration. Let me read that again. Maintained for a long duration, and it's a crushing blow that you have to amplify. What if it's low? Oh, that's what it means. Instructions are not very clear, but that's ridiculous. You could have someone guessing. It's like any other charge-up move, like the Demonic Mace with Collector. I've messed around with that quite a bit. It's good fun. Wasn't the longest of duration, but whatever. That is ridiculous. I've been saying that about everything, really. So you've got mind games with the keep away. Oh my god, Hell Chain has a crushing blow in it. Hold on. Okay, so that's what happens when you're invisible. Let me just turn off the crushing blows and try it properly. I don't have the meter for this. Why is he not going invisible? Oh, I've got to hold it. Damage is slightly less when he's invisible, but that's because you don't know where he is, so it would be a bit pesky to receive full damage from that. I think. Cabal also thinks. The verdict for how decent Spawn is, based on this experience of actually trying him out and seeing what he brings to the game, it's range and a slight element of unpredictability, which at this point is bad enough and doesn't scare me anymore. Spawn in my hands right now, absolute garbage, but who's to say that won't get any better? We'll see how this goes. I'm excited. Are you guys excited? That is Spawn in a nutshell for now. Functionality wise. We'll put him to use later.